On today's show, how to prepare for the morning of your exam. Part 3 of this week's series, Preparing for a Life Insurance Exam with Paramedical Examiner Kevin Jensen. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to Backroom Technician in Innsbruck. Let's get down to business. Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thanks again.
Well, we're day 3 with Kevin Jensen, who's walking us through paramed now. And remember, we said we kind of think morning's really the best. That's why we're going to devote a show. Hey, it's rise and shine. I love the idea, we have to fast anyways from 12 to 14 hours. I might as well be sleeping during that time.
Exactly.
Why would I want to go ahead and, waste a whole day like, hey, I'm fasting for 12 hours. Can you imagine fasting 12 hours the whole day just to get examined at the end of the day?
Yeah, I can't go 4 hours.
Yeah. I'm just thinking the deprivation alone. So let's talk about it. We're getting ready in the morning. We wake up, and of course, again, I explained this yesterday. I had unbelievable creatine levels, and I knew I didn't have any renal issues. So what was my problem? And I found out I was dehydrated. My levels were 1.7, which were very dangerous. But my actual level, the moment I took the exam again, I took 4 days. I just started drinking like a fish by the recommendation of the paramed, and my numbers went right down to 1.1, right within normal ranges. So when they talking about being dehydrated or that we need to drink water, and by the way, I loved your line the other day. People say, well, I want to be able to give my urine sample, so I better be drinking like a fish. Well, yes, but what are they drinking? That could cause problems. So when we're talking about the first thing out, it talks about really having, and I did this too when I got up early. I just went there and started drinking water before my paramedical examiner came at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that's my first thing. But now, no breakfast. I mean, I can kind of get the no caffeine, but no breakfast, no food. What will that cause? Why does that cause a problem just before the exam?
Well, prior to the exam, we want to make sure that if you can avoid any kind of stimulant into the body prior to that exam. That's what that water's doing, is flushing out those impurities into the system. It's going to make it so you're going to get that best result from there. But that food can actually elevate different readings in the body, and depending on what you eat, can do that. For exams that are done later in the afternoon, that breakfast has a big to play. Eating that low carb, that higher oat, that higher fiber will help with that. It actually adds to the better processes in the body.
I've noticed, and this is just me talking out loud, I'm an early riser, and I've had my paramedical people come right away, and the first thing as they walk in the doors, I ask them, give me my urine vial, because I want to go right to the bathroom, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Is your first donation of the day an urine sample is about as pure as the driven snow as it's going to get? I mean, is it better you're coming from the top of your bladder, or it doesn't really matter? You know what?
It is here's a little secret too. On that urine sample, we would kind of advise to have the second of the day as opposed to the first one of the day, because that first one is actually cleaning out the body. That's what you're getting later in that morning. If you can actually dump that and then reload for another exam, for another sample, would be actually the best process.
So really, you're saying, hey, if I have to go to the bathroom, go ahead and go, and then drink your water so that when you're during your exam, you can go again, and that second one is the one you like.
Again, the best results, what we're looking for.
Well, I'm into the best results because I want to pay the least. This is the name of the game. The name of the game of an exam is we're trying to pay the least amount for our life insurance coverage. We are micromanaging the human health categories now. I mean, think about this. Just when I came into this business, you're either a smoker or you're a non-smoker. Today, these exam results will park you on a price tag that could really be big for you. Super preferred, preferred plus, preferred non-smoke, standard plus, standard before you even get into table ratings.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's a huge issue. I have noticed that when I go to the doctor and he wants to take my blood pressure, it actually goes up because I'm anticipating him doing my exam. When the paramed comes, I'm wondering, do a lot of people, are they smart enough to know, maybe I better not just do my blood pressure right away. I need to, kind of relax. And how have you seen that in exams?
We've actually done exams where gone into the client's home. They may be a little bit excited about that process, maybe more about the needle than anything else. So that blood pressure can be a little high. We have no problem just restating. They are a little bit more comfortable in their home when doing that, but again, anytime they're coming to have that process done, you can elevate it yourself a little bit.
Okay, so when you recommend, can the client, if he feels like he's already a little stressed about it, a little uptight about the exam, he's probably not been a good boy on the diet, maybe not a good person exercising, so it's probably okay, right? Hey, can I just maybe wait till the end of the questions or when I'm talking, will that help?
You know, it can be, if the person understands what they're there for, if they can identify to themselves what their body's going through, maybe an illness. We've had that done many times where the client's just sick that morning, and we know it's going to cause some effects to the draw, so we'll want to reschedule that. But if the client feels that way, we have no problem doing that.
Well, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the dreaded part of the exam. Oh, the needle is bigger. Every time I take the exam, the needle gets bigger, right? When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about drawing blood and some of the pathology behind it for some of our clients. It's not how much money you make for your clients, it's how much money they get to keep, especially in retirement. But retirement income could cause Social Security benefits to be taxed. One tax advantage alternative is life insurance designed as a non-modified endowment contract that can generate tax-free income without taxing Social Security benefits. These contracts offer differing funding options depending upon your client's risk tolerance. For more information on how life insurance can be part of your retirement planning, just email me at steve@downtobusiness.tv. Brought to you by Ash Brokerage, the practice enhancement company. Well, welcome back to our second segment. I'm with Kevin Jensen. We're talking about setting yourself up for a morning exam. And we've kind of dodged this bullet for the last, 5-6 segments because we want to talk about the needle. Now, first of all, I love this when they go hunting for your vein, right? I mean, they're tapping, they're prodding, they're pushing, they're trying to see if something will surface on the epidermal part of your skin.
Exactly.
How many clients are adverse to needles? I can't believe that there's just a few people.
No, there's quite a few. They anticipate that process. They get excited about it because they know what's going to happen there. So that they do take some time to calm them down and just communicate a little bit with them on what we're going to do. Does make that process easier.
When I'm thinking of having a good vein to get this needle in, I have been in exams with my clients where it took a while just to find the vein. We're not even talking about, we haven't even penetrated yet. We haven't even put the needle in because we can't find a place to put it in. So I've noticed that some people have really hard vein surface, I guess they call it. Vein surface where they cannot find a really clean way to do this.
And this comes back to the water. A client that drinks a lot of water prior to that exam is going to make this area soft. It's going to make it easier to feel. It's going to make it easier to touch to identify that vein. When you do that, we only have 2 places where we're going to pull that blood, one out of one arm and one out of the other arm. That's the only time we're going to attempt that blood draw.
All right, so I've had the blood draw, and I noticed they're taking several vials, not just one. What's going on with the multiple vials?
Well, we'll take a tiger top, we'll take a purple top. That tiger top's going to be spun down. We're going to take the serum off of that, and that's what we're going to send to the lab for them to do their testing on.
And what's the other one? Where's the other one go then?
The other purple top is going to be sent just with the result. They're going to do different testing on that blood.
Okay, so now I've got the testing, and we're going to talk about this Friday. We're going to walk you through everything they test for. It's going to be a huge. We've taken our vials, we've done our urine because I think peeing in a bottle is pretty easy. We've done our EKG. All we have to do is sit back and relax, let that happen. They've asked us all the questions. I always talk about this. The height and weight charts of so many carriers are all over the board.
Exactly.
I've noticed stand up straight, stretch yourself straight as you can. This could mean hundreds of dollars in premium, as I've said, the difference here. So we really want to take a really good test. And I would recommend also on the weight chart, I come in with a tank top on, gym shorts. I'm wearing nothing more than I have to be modest to hit that scale and to try to get my best numbers. Have you seen, when they're walking around, the paramedics that I've seen, they say their scales look no better than mine in my bathroom. They don't look like they're real deep in technology.
No, they have to have a dial. We have to read it. There's no electronics behind that to try to push that. There's also some factors of where to do that weight. We want to make sure we're on a hard surface. We don't want to be on a carpet. On a carpet scenario, that can actually add 10 pounds to the person.
The actual putting the scale, if I hear you correctly, on the carpet, you stand on the carpet, that'll actually compress and add more weight to it.
It can actually add more weight. You want to make sure that scale is on a hard surface.
Well, that's a new one for Steve Savant after 30 years. I did not know that. All right, so we've done everything we've talked about, preparing for the exam. We're doing all that. We're trying to get ready for the needle, right, and all those things. Now, when they go through the questionnaires, and they're going through all these questions, we have to be honest. We have to tell the client, yes, this is what I've had this, and this. I think you told me in the first segment, you're probably not going to go back past 10 years. So whatever surgeries, whatever things that you've had in the past 10 years, we don't really worry about that. Now, for people who have had ongoing issues, diabetes, cancer, things of this nature, how far back do you think they'll last for these APSs? Is it still about 10 years?
You know, it is anywhere from that 5 to 10 years. We have had all medical records, depending probably on the size of the policy for the client. The risk that they have for the carrier, obviously, they might go and get all the records from that client.
Now, when I think about all the records, people have multiple physicians. Maybe they moved and they had to start all over. It's quite extensive. And a missing APS could really be the difference between a quality rating and all of a sudden paying way more than I need.
Exactly.
So really, it really is to our benefit. And I've noticed that my cardiologist, especially, he writes everything I say down. So I'm not telling him everything from now on, because he writes all my cool ideas and everything down. I want to come to the place where we're set for an exam. We've done it to the client's convenience. We can do it anywhere, at the home, at his job, locker room, preferably before they work out. We've done all these things, and why are we doing it? We're trying to give you tips so that you can actually position your client for the best possible exam results, which will have a major impact on the pricing of their life insurance. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Remember, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always consult your tax advisor, legal counsel, or your broker-dealer compliance officer. Missed an episode? Go out to our video archives, and remember, you could be wiser as an educated advisor. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you tomorrow.